reckoning. And why is it that the wise people just not do anything?
What are they supposed to do? Kill themselves? You need to understand this. Wherever you go, people are always trying to prove that their religion is not preaching violence, their religion is trying to preach peace. Because they will point out every scripture in the world, they will point out somewhere in one corner where somebody said, you must be peaceful or coexist with each other or something. They're taking out one line and saying, our religion says we must be peaceful. So we are not responsible for this, it's the other people. Always it's the other people, isn't it? Isn't it so? What you need to understand is, the moment you believe something that is not in your experience, you have started the conflict. When it will spill out on the street, it's just a question of time and situation. For example, I believe my God has no hands. My God has no hands. He's tall, he doesn't need hands, he is remote. He operates remote control. My God is high-tech God. You believe your God has 4 hands. But both of us are such good friends. We are neighbors, we call each other brothers and sisters. But you got a tremendous urge that to honor your God, you want to put up 100 feet tall, what is it, 108 is it? What's in Hussain Sagar is 108? Okay. You want to put up a 108 feet tall statue of your God. You are not against me, I am your brother. We are very good friends, we eat in each other's homes, we call ourselves brothers, everything. So you put up your God statue with 4 hands. I look at this and I'm aghast. These 4 hands, so vulgar, rest is okay. But because my God has no hands, I know God has no hands. You out of your ignorance, you put up 4 hands. So in the night, I go, I don't want to cause any damage to your God, just I want to take away your ignorance of 4 hands. So I just remove the 4 hands and come. Tomorrow morning, you and my brotherhood, you know what will happen? We'll be killing each other, isn't it? The moment you start believing something which is not in your experience, you started a conflict with somebody. An unknown person somewhere in the world, you started a conflict with him. When you are actually going to meet on the street and chop each other is a question of time and situation. So the very basis, when you start with a belief system, you have started the conflict. You can go on claiming, no, my religion teaches peace. It doesn't matter what it teaches. The moment you believe things which are not a living experience for you, you have started the conflict with unknown people in the world. If only, if you had the simple sincerity of being human, just to see what I know, what I do not know, I do not know, you will have no conflict with anybody. If you do not know anything, you have no conflict with anybody. If you know, there is definitely no conflict. You believe, that is why there is conflict. The fight in the world is always being projected as good versus evil. Not today, for a long time they've been doing the same thing. Dharma yuddhas, holy wars and jihads have been happening all the time, isn't it? Right from Kurukshetra time, people fought dharma yuddhas, then holy wars, then jihads have been happening. There is nothing holy about any war, it's just gory, isn't it? Generally, it is the people who win the war who write history. So they will always describe the wars as glorious wars. There's nothing glorious about the war. War is a shame on humanity. But because people who win the war write history, they always describe the wars as glorious wars. Don't look at the problem on the surface. The very core of the problem is that you believe things which are not a reality for you. And somebody else believes that. And somewhere in the world, in the process of living, these two things are bound to clash. The fight in the world is never between good and evil. It's always between one man's belief versus another man's belief, isn't it? So, politicians are the killers. It's not true. Politicians are just people like you. They got elected, you didn't. Isn't it? Nobody is willing to vote for you, somebody is willing to vote for them. This is another pastime in the country, always blaming the politicians for everything. Yes, there is much to be desired from the leadership, that is different. But we only get the kind of leaders that we deserve. This needs to be understood. There is no integrity in the population, please see this. Right now, at the next crossing on the street, if the policeman is not there, there are many people there who won't stop at the red light, they will just go on anyway. Yes? Suppose you make this man the chief minister or the prime minister of this country, what is he going to do? What is he going to do? Is he going to be a better politician than what we have right now? See, the general integrity of the population has come down badly. 50 years ago, Mahatma Gandhi or somebody like Mahatma Gandhi existed in this country. I'm telling you, another generation of people, if you tell your grandchildren there was a man like Mahatma Gandhi in this country, they won't believe it. They'll think you're talking some fairy tales like we're used to. They won't believe. Already it's difficult to believe, isn't it? Yes or no? Already it's difficult to believe and people are refusing to believe. Maybe he was also a corrupt man. Congress people are projecting him in such a way. Because how can anybody be clean? People have come to that level of thinking, isn't it so? Mahatma Gandhi will look like a fairy tale. Already he is beginning to, definitely in the next few years he will, unless we change the way we are. So, we are only electing the kind of people that we are. There's no integrity in the population, so there's no integrity in the leadership. You need to understand this. Democracy means you are the king, or at least the kingmaker. Somewhere we are making those kind of kings because for so many reasons.
For more on Sadhguru, visit www.ishafoundation.org.